Hello everybody, welcome to my channel.
Joe DiMaggio, the Yankee Clipper who became an American legend. Few names in the history of baseball and American culture carry the same weight as Joe DiMaggio. Graceful, iconic, and forever tied to the golden era of the sport, DiMaggio was more than just a superstar athlete. He became a symbol of excellence, consistency, and quiet dignity. His remarkable career, combined with a powerful public image, turned him into a figure who transcended baseball and entered the realm of American mythology. Early life and rise to stardom. Joseph Paul DiMaggio was born on November 25, 1914, in Martinez, California, the son of Sicilian immigrants. Raised in San Francisco, he grew up in a large family where hard work was essential. Though his parents expected him to follow a traditional path, Joe was drawn irresistibly to baseball. His natural talent became obvious when he began playing for the minor league San Francisco Seals. His hitting ability and smooth outfield play quickly attracted national attention. By 1936, DiMaggio joined the New York Yankees, instantly becoming a cornerstone of the team. His impact was immediate. The Yankees won the World Series in his rookie season, and his arrival marked the beginning of one of the most dominant eras in MLB history. The 56-game hitting streak, a record for the ages. DiMaggio's legacy will forever be defined by one of the most extraordinary feats in sports, his 56-game hitting streak in 1941. It remains the longest in Major League Baseball history. During a summer when America was on the brink of entering World War II, DiMaggio's streak captivated the nation, offering hope and excitement during uncertain times. For 56 consecutive games, DiMaggio delivered at least one hit, a record so remarkable that many consider it unbreakable. Modern analytics, evolving pitching strategies, and the competitiveness of today's game only further solidify the streak's legendary status. A career of excellence in his 13 seasons with the Yankees, interrupted by 3 years of military service during World War II, DiMaggio compiled a resume unmatched by most players. He was a 13-time All-Star, a 3-time MVP, and helped lead the Yankees to 9 World Series titles. Known as the Yankee Clipper for his smooth, gliding style in the outfield, DiMaggio played with a level of precision and grace that made even the toughest plays look effortless. At the plate, he was a consistent and powerful hitter, finishing his career with a .325 batting average, 361 home runs, and 1,537 RBIs. Numbers made even more impressive by the pitcher-dominant era in which he played. Icon beyond baseball. Joe DiMaggio's influence extended far beyond the baseball diamond. Handsome, poised, and impeccably private, he became a cultural icon. His brief yet highly publicized marriage to actress Marilyn Monroe cemented his status as a figure of fascination in American pop culture. Even after his retirement, DiMaggio maintained an aura of mystique and reverence. He became the face of the famous Mr. Coffee commercials and remained a beloved representative of the Yankees and the sport itself. Legacy. Joe DiMaggio passed away on March 8, 1999, but his legend continues to endure. His name is synonymous with excellence and consistency. His 56-game hitting streak remains one of the most celebrated achievements in sports history, and his graceful presence still stands as a reminder of a bygone era when baseball represented the heart and soul of American life. Today, DiMaggio is remembered not only as one of the greatest baseball players of all time but also as a symbol of unwavering class, competitive spirit, and iconic American style. In every sense, Joe DiMaggio remains timeless. Joe DiMaggio, the Yankee Clipper, a portrait of excellence, mystery, and American greatness in the vast and storied landscape of American sports. Certain figures rise above their games to become larger-than-life symbols. Joe DiMaggio is one of those towering icons, a man whose name evokes the elegance of old New York, the golden age of baseball, and an enduring sense of class and mystique. More than 2 decades after his passing, DiMaggio remains a benchmark of greatness, a subject of fascination, and a reminder of an era when legends seemed to walk among us. A humble beginning in a new world. Joe DiMaggio's journey began far from the bright lights of Yankee Stadium. Born to Sicilian immigrants in 1914, he grew up in a working-class Italian-American community. His father, a fisherman, hoped Joe would follow in the family trade, but the young DiMaggio hated the smell of fish and instead gravitated toward baseball. His early life was marked by the classic immigrant struggle, hardship, opportunity, and the hope of a better future. Playing for the San Francisco Seals in the Pacific Coast League, DiMaggio showed an early knack for the game. In 1933, he hit safely in 61 consecutive minor league games, a foreshadowing of the record that would later define his legacy. Becoming the face of the New York Yankees. When DiMaggio joined the Yankees in 1936, the team was already a powerhouse. But his arrival elevated them to an entirely new level. His rookie year marked the beginning of a dynasty, 4 straight World Series championships from 1936 to 1939, with DiMaggio as their shining star. What made him extraordinary wasn't just his ability to hit, but the way he moved. DiMaggio glided across the outfield with a calm, almost regal demeanor. He rarely showed emotion, rarely complained, and rarely made a mistake. Fans admired him not only for his skill, but for his professionalism. He played the game with a kind of silent intensity that set him apart. 1941. A summer of history and hope. In 1941, America stood at the edge of global conflict. Yet amid the tension, baseball provided comfort. And that summer, Joe DiMaggio gave the country something unforgettable, a 56-game hitting streak. For 2 months, the nation watched him hit safely day after day, the streak turning into a living drama. Newspapers tracked it daily. Radio announcers built suspense with every at-bat. Children across America asked each morning, did DiMaggio get a hit? When the streak finally ended on July 17, it had become more than a sporting achievement. It was a symbol of American endurance and optimism on the eve of war. War service and interrupted greatness. DiMaggio's career was interrupted from 1943 to 1945 when he served in the United States Army during World War II. Unlike some celebrity athletes who received light assignments, DiMaggio spent much of his service touring bases, playing exhibitions, and boosting troop morale. Though he returned to baseball in 1946, many believe those lost years cost him statistical milestones that could have placed him even higher among baseball's immortals. A pattern of triumphs even with the interruption. DiMaggio's achievements remain staggering. 13-time All-Star, 3-time MVP, beating out Ted Williams twice, 9 World Series championships, career .325 batting average, only 13 seasons played, yet universally regarded as one of the greatest ever. Unlike some players who dominated with brute strength, DiMaggio was characterized by effortless excellence. His swing was compact, powerful, and beautifully balanced. His defense was impeccable. His base running was smart and controlled. Every part of his game seemed refined. The private star, a life behind the curtain. Despite being one of the most famous men in America, DiMaggio kept his personal life closely guarded. He disliked interviews, avoided controversy, and rarely let anyone inside his emotional world. But in 1954, he entered a marriage that would become part of Hollywood lore, his 9-month union with Marilyn Monroe. Though brief and tumultuous, their relationship captivated the public. After their divorce, DiMaggio remained deeply connected to Monroe, even helping arrange her funeral and sending flowers to her grave for decades. From ballplayer to American icon after retiring in 1951, DiMaggio transitioned into a new role as a cultural symbol. With his timeless style and dignified presence, he became the face of multiple brands, most famously Mr. Coffee, which introduced him to a new generation. Paul Simon immortalized him in the song Mrs. Robinson with the line, "Where have you gone, Joe DiMaggio?" A lyric that DiMaggio reportedly did not understand at first, but eventually embraced as part of his mythic image. Legacy. More than numbers, a standard. Joe DiMaggio died in 1999. But his legend has only grown. What he represents today goes beyond statistics, championships, or records. He embodies perfection under pressure. Grace in motion, a quiet, unshakable confidence, a standard of class and excellence. His 56-game hitting streak remains the most untouchable record in baseball history. His presence still looms large in Yankee Stadium, where his number 5 is retired and his monument stands tall. Perhaps the most fitting description of DiMaggio is this: he didn't just play baseball, he elevated it. He was, and remains, the Yankee Clipper, smooth, steady, unforgettable. Joe DiMaggio, the Yankee Clipper, elegance, mystery, and the making of an American legend. Joe DiMaggio was more than a baseball player, he was a symbol. A symbol of precision, of poise under pressure, of the America that once was and the America people still long for. His life reads like a perfectly crafted novel. A humble beginning, a meteoric rise, wartime duty, iconic love, quiet heartbreak, and a legacy that echoes through generations. To speak of DiMaggio is to speak of a bygone era when heroes stood tall, spoke few words, and let excellence do the talking. A boy from Fisherman's Wharf, Paul DiMaggio grew up far from the grandeur of Yankee Stadium. He was raised on the windswept shores of San Francisco, where his father, Giuseppe DiMaggio, worked as a fisherman, as did most men in the Sicilian American community. Joe, however, never felt the pull of the sea. He once wrote that the smell of fish turned his stomach, and he would sneak away to the sandlots instead. Baseball quickly became not just an escape, but a calling. As a teenager, he was graceful but not explosive, quiet but determined. His smooth stride and natural timing caught the attention of scouts, but injuries early on threatened his path. At 17, he nearly quit the sport. Then came the San Francisco Seals, the minor league dream that sparked a legend. Playing for the Seals in the Pacific Coast League, DiMaggio blossomed. In 1933, at just 18, he recorded a 61-game hitting streak, a minor league record that foreshadowed the magic he'd bring to the majors. Newspapers began to take notice. The Yankees took notice. In 1934, the New York Yankees bought his contract for $50,000 and 4 players, a hefty price for the time. Yet it proved to be one of the most important investments in baseball history. A star is born. The Martian in Yankee pinstripes. When DiMaggio debuted for the Yankees on May 3, 1936, everything changed. New York had experienced legends, Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, but DiMaggio felt different. He was lean and quiet, moving with a gliding, almost effortless grace. Unlike Ruth, he wasn't larger than life. Unlike Gehrig, he wasn't the workman hero. DiMaggio was something new. Refinement in motion. That year, he helped lead the Yankees to a World Series title, the first of 9 he would win. Teammates adored him, rivals respected him, and fans were mesmerized. It didn't take long before newspapers called him a natural aristocrat of the game. The Streak, a summer that captivated America in 1941. Joe DiMaggio did something that no player before or since has matched. He hit safely in 56 consecutive games. It became a national obsession. Radios buzzed with updates. Newspapers printed charts tracking his progress. Bars paused everything when DiMaggio stepped to the plate. For 56 games, he carried the hopes of a nation. And when the streak ended, America felt both relief and heartbreak. It was more than a record, it was a shared experience during the final peaceful months before the country entered World War II. Many analysts consider the 56-game streak the greatest statistical achievement in American sports. A career interrupted, serving his country in 1943. DiMaggio traded his pinstripes for military uniform. Though he was already a national hero, he enlisted in the U.S. Army and served for 3 years. While he spent much of his service playing exhibition games to entertain troops, he also endured difficult conditions and rigid military routines. His time away from the sport took a toll on his physical condition, and many believe it cost him several more MVP-caliber seasons. But nobody ever heard Joe complain, said one teammate. It wasn't his style. The return, a legend beyond his prime, still better than most. DiMaggio returned to the Yankees in 1946. Though he had lost a step, he remained among the best players in the league. He won MVP again in 1947, proving that even a diminished DiMaggio was superior to nearly everyone else. By 1951, injuries and age caught up with him. Instead of slipping into mediocrity, he retired abruptly at 36. I'd rather be remembered as a ballplayer who quit too soon than one who stayed too long, he said. With that, the Yankee Clipper sailed into history. Beyond baseball, a love story for the ages. DiMaggio's post-baseball life was at times glamorous and at times deeply private. But in 1954, his world collided with Hollywood when he married Marilyn Monroe, the most famous woman in the world. Their marriage lasted only 9 months. Monroe's
Bye bye. Thanks for watching. Bye.